Welcome back. Today we are looking at adding fractions with different signs. So, fractions, kind of scary, but we have them broken down into 3 different steps, which makes them a little bit easier. Different signs, remember that refers to positives and negatives. So plus signs, minus signs, counting up and counting down, okay? Our learning target, same as it has been. I can add numbers with different signs. Let's just jump right into fractions. It is really important that we recall those 3 different steps. Okay? If you need to pause the video and go back and look at your other notes so you can remember those 3 steps, I want you to try and fill in the 3 steps. Don't do the math yet. Just try and fill in those 3 steps. Try and remember what they are, okay? Pause your video here and try to fill those in really quick. So here we go. Here are our steps. Step 1, find a common denominator. Remember that this means we want our denominators, the numbers on the bottom, to have the same number. Okay? And then we're going to add. Remember, we're adding different signs now. So add, I put in quotation marks, the numerators. Just the numerators. Hashtag don't touch the denominator. That's still staying the same. And then we're going to simplify by dividing if we can. So if we look at our first step, if we look at the numbers, we have a denominator of 8 and we have a denominator of 3. We need those to become the same number. Well, unless you're just going to fill in the rest of the missing circles for 3 to make it look like 8, which you can't really do. That's not how math works. Make life real easy if you could. The only way to make 8 and 3 become the same number is to multiply. So we're going to multiply 8 times 3. But if we do something to the bottom of the fraction, we have to do something to the top of the fraction to make sure that that fraction is staying equal. We want it to stay balanced, okay? And then we need to make something happen so that the denominator 3 becomes the same as the denominator 8. So we're going to multiply that denominator by 8. And again, if we multiply the 3 by 8, we need to multiply its numerator also by 8. Okay? So now we're just going to multiply straight across. So we have 6 times 3. Which gives us 18. 8 times 3, which gives us 24. 4 times 8, 32. And 3 times 8, which again gives us 24. All right, so now we're going to, quote, add the numerators. So remember when I said I like to move my symbol up, so I'm going to move my subtraction sign up, and then I like to just draw an arrow across because that's going to stay the same. So that's going to stay 24, and now I have 18 minus 32. So that's a weird one, right? So really quickly, I'm going to scroll over here. Because remember, we have lots of room, so we can do side work. And I'm going to use my absolute value skills. And I'm going to do the absolute value of 18. Well, the distance from 18 to 0, or 0 to 18, is 18. And then the absolute value of negative 32, so the value of 0... the distance from 0 to negative 32 is 32. And because they're different signs, it's subtraction. So I'm going to do 32 minus 18. I can't take 8 away from 2, so I have to borrow from my 3. So now I have 12 minus 8. That gives me 4. 3 minus 1 is 2, and to find out if it's going to be positive or negative, I need to see which one is bigger, 32 or 18. 32 is my bigger absolute value. So I need to look at the original number inside those absolute values. The original number is negative. So my answer is going to be that negative. Okay. So my number is going to be negative. Oh, anyone see the error I made? When I borrowed, I still said 3. That's silly. All right, so when you take 1 away from 3, you get 2. All right, so now 2 minus 1 is just 1. All right, so our answer is negative 14. All right, so now we have negative 14 over 24. Let's scroll back over here and see what our next step is. Okay, so it says simplify by dividing. So we need to know what number goes into 14 and 24. Well, 2 goes into both 14 and 24. What about 3? 3 goes into 24. I don't think it goes into 14. What about 4? 4 goes into 24, but again, it doesn't go into 14. 5 doesn't go into either of them. 6 goes into 24, but not into 14. 7 goes into 14, but it doesn't go into 24. 8 goes into 24, but not into 14. 9? Nope, 9 doesn't go into either of them. What about 10? No. 11? No. 12? 12 goes into 24, but doesn't go into 14. So it looks like 2 is the only one that goes into both of them. So we can divide by 2. So I'm going to move this negative sign just up here with the 14 and say negative 14 divided by 2. So what is 14 divided by 2? That's going to be 7. And I'm just going to put my negative right there with that. So negative 7. And then 24 divided by 2 is 12. And so my answer, I need to circle it, is negative 7 over 12. All right. So we have another one of those amazing word problems that everybody loves so much. I know, everybody loves them, but it is important that we practice word problems. So, Miss O is making chili. She adds 5/3 cups of chicken broth to the pot. Then later removes 5/3 of a cup of chili. Write and solve an expression for this problem. What kind of number pairs are these pair of numbers? Okay, so first she's going to add all these things keep opening. I'm so sorry. First she's going to add 5 over 3. But then she removes, and removes is like taking away, so that's minus. All right, I'm going to let you answer the rest of this. So go ahead and pause your video here, solve the expression, and tell me, what are these pair of numbers called? If you need to look back at some of your other notes, go ahead and do that. But pause your video here, answer the rest of this question, and then I want you to try the you-try problems. And then come back here and I will give you the answers to the you-try problems. All right, there you go. There's the answer for the rest of your word problem, and there's the answer for the you-try problems. If you got them correct, fantastic. If not, go ahead and go back through your notes and try and solve it, get them down. maybe work with a partner, talk with some group of friends. If you're still struggling, come find me and let's chat. Until next time, love your faces. Have a good one.